Hey guys, today I'll be showing you how to solve a 6x6. Before we get into it, make sure to subscribe and let's get into it. So first, let me scramble this a bit more. Click. And here's how to solve it. First, let's solve the center parts, which is these parts, and these parts, and for all 6 sides. So first, what we need to do to solve it is to make blocks, little blocks like this. So all we have to do is make some blocks by connecting pieces together. So we create a block. Like that. Then once we create the blocks, we can connect them with other blocks. Until we eventually get to a point where we solved one center. This. And then there, made another block right there, and then so when you get to this case, there's some times where you try to connect this one to make a block, but then it ends up moving this one and ruining it. So when that happens, to save the thing, you twist it, turn it, so the block won't be in this way when it goes back up, and then it goes back up like that. So now let's connect our last block, and there's our first center. Make sure you do you can do any center first, but to opposite side, now you have to make a center on the opposite side by making blocks. So as you can see, we already got started with these two centers are already started with their blocks, so let me just connect some pieces to make their own block. Like this. That to preserve the pieces, and then you just, so here's the case, here's another case to preserve this line. When this is a line that you need to go to middle, don't do this, instead do this. You go like this, twist twice, and then when you go back up, it preserves and they connect together. So now just make the last sides like this, and then preserve by doing this, and then they're all fine. And then for the last one, let me just get to the last part, the part where we need to make where we need to connect the last one. Now you connect them, then the last line, this is what you need to do. Don't do this, don't go this lane. Go to the lane where the yellows are right at. Go this, twist twice, and up like that. Now let's work on these 4 side ones. Now we just make blocks basically. So we're gonna make the first 2 ones, and then the last 2 are gonna be pretty hard to make blocks, so I'm gonna show you a little trick on how to do it. But first, let's make these blocks real quick. Then we just made our first middle one. Now let's work on to the next one. Then on to the last one. It's pretty hard to connect blocks, so again I'm going to show you a trick. But first, before I show you how to solve the last 2, let's solve these. and then on to the last block. Oh, oopsies. Messed it up a bit. Mess it up, just do that little trick again. And then now, we just got 2 more to do. We're on to the last 2. You can try and connect blocks, but it's gonna be hard. It's gonna get too hard. So when it gets too hard, let me show you how. So this is a way for you to solve it, but let me first try to solve as much as I can before we show you how to do the trick. So once we get down to the last few blocks, it's going to be very hard to connect them. It's going to be very hard. So this is a trick to do. So first, take 2 of the blocks you want to connect, and then you just go like this, and like this, and it connects, and then it brings down a new piece somewhere. And then you take the same thing with a corner, except wherever the missing block is, where you're gonna put a new block in, that's where you're gonna do the middle slice in, because then when it goes back, it'll slice in and add a new one for you. So then, when you get to this case and you turn it like this, you can turn it this way if you want. It's easier, and then you just slice it up like this. And then we're on to the last one. This. And that's how you do it. And moving on to the next step, which is edge pairing. Now we're on to edge pairing. If you don't know what edge pairing is, and if you don't know how to solve 5x5, 3x3, 4x4, 2x2, make sure you watch the next video, the 4x4 tutorial, so you know how to do edge pairing. Edge pairing, you're basically connecting pairs together by doing M moves. Like this. Like that. And then take another edge. And then move it. And then put a new edge that's unsolved there. Oh, like that. And then you're going to take another edge. Right here. And edge pair it. Now moving on to the next edge, it can be any edge you're pairing, so you don't have to be pairing the same edges as me. Just do whatever edge you want to pair together, like that. And pair this one. Then you're going to pair this edge together. And continue pairing the edges until you're onto the last edge. And then on the last edge, I'll show you how to do it. Last 2 edges. Now we're just going to do a different edge pairing way, different way of edge pairing. Then we're just going to keep pairing together like this. And they're just gonna keep pairing on until you get the pair solved pretty much. So once the pairs are solved like this, just solve it normally like a 3x3. The first layers, and you're on to the last layer. Let's talk about parity. Okay, so parity number 1 you can get is edge parity, like this. Could be any case, but anyways, just do a parity. Just do the parity algorithm. Just do the algorithm to solve the parity to flip the edges. Like this, and just continue solving until you're onto PL. I need to show you another parity algorithm. There are another parity. So when you notice there's a case that's not a normal case on a 3x3, just do this parity out. Then that's when you know you have parity. So do this algorithm. like that. And then once you recognize that this is a case that is possible in 3x3, then finish off and solve off the rest. And then there you go. You know how to solve a 6x6. Now, thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.